Uh, Welcome to the session, guys. So today we are going to see the advanced SLDS. We are going to see whatever things we have learned yesterday, how we can modify that and make some kind of improvement in that code by using advanced SLDS. Those main things are to remember that yesterday when we understood how to use SLDS in Lightning with in Visual Force pages, which is the main thing, because in Lightning it's already available and you don't need to worry about that. It's not something which is important for us. The most important thing is to learn how to use SLDS in Visual Force page. So what we understood initially, we need to give some apex page and some kind of attributes. That is okay. Like removing the standard style sheet is necessary. Removing header and all these things is necessary. HTML5, this doc type is necessary. After that, you just give this kind of naming space. This is optional, whether you use, whether you don't use, it's optional. But for best practices, you can keep or you can skip it. It's not a problem. Then in the header, this point which you used to give a static resource, this was a big headache at the beginning. By the way, this approach was the only approach previously present and compulsory, everyone had to use this. But now we have second and a better approach and everyone is using that one. So we are also going to aware of that approach. So this was the old approach where upload a CSS file in the static resource and give the name of the static resource and then use that in Salesforce Lightning designing system and in the Visual Force page, and then your Visual Force page will be looking good. This headache now no more. Below that, whatever code we used to write, that is all common, so nothing changed. But this pattern of adding all the necessary thing into your Visual Force page so that it can show us a lightning look and feel, that is changed now. So what is the new pattern we need to follow? Pay attention. The new pattern is something like this. So the new pattern is here. Always remember this. The new pattern is this. Here, the Visual Force page will start with Apex page and all the remaining attributes will be same, not a problem. Then you can use this or you can remove this HTML, it's optional. Okay, so this one is optional and you can remove this. That's also not a problem. Okay, so I'll just mention here this is optional. Okay, the HTML tag. Then in the header, you don't need to worry about that static resource. Just write apex SLDS. That's it. This is one of the biggest and very powerful change Salesforce brought recently for all those people who are trying to show some kind of Visual Force page with lightning look and feel. So we don't need to now worry about writing some kind of static resource. Just write apex SLDS, problem solved. Very useful. Please note this point. Okay, that we are going to write in the header. Then you can give any title your wish. Then after that you have body. Again, don't forget, here we need to mention the body. Class of the body is SLDS scope. Means we are saying that this entire body of this Visual Force page should be influenced by the SLDS and it is under the scope of SLDS, and anything I'm going to write in that should be made available for the SLDS impact. So write this also and also start your code now. This compulsory wrapper div class SLDS, and at the end you are going to just inside that whatever you want to write it. No problem. Inside that whatever you want to write it, your wish, no problem at all. Okay, but please note the main thing is here you need to understand that the starting point and the starting structure and the ending structure should be proper, and after that you are here going to close the required SLDS wrapper. You are going to close the body. If you are going to write any kind of JavaScript code, then you can write here, and you are going to write the HTML closing and apex page again. That's it. Inside that, your wish. Write anything. The Lightning design system is impacted, and your page will look like a Lightning design system. No problem at all. Okay. Now here let me show you the code and how actually it's going to work. So here, so first of all, I'm going to explain you now from the beginning everything. Pay attention what we are doing. So first of all, I'm going to write now the lightning design system with the second approach, advanced approach, where I have written this all headings, where I don't want style sheet, I don't want sidebar, I don't want like HTML tag, I and body tag, and I want to use this in this format, and this is optional. And this header, I'm mentioning that this page is going to be having impact of SLDS. Heading your wish, title your wish, write anything. Then don't forget in the body SLDS scope, and also this required wrapper, and that's it. These are the formalities. After that you do your wish. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to here write any kind of master header, and here we are going to write some kind of code. So what we are doing here, that here we are showing that it's a like we are showing like header, and it's displayed like this. Let me show you the output, then it will be easy for you to understand. So first of all, let me uh, show you the output. Okay, then remaining steps you will see once you get the idea about output. Now see here, I'm going to run this code, and I'm going to show you that what will be the output of this functionality. And here we go. Okay, look at this. Are you able to see this? Are you able to see this? Oh, let me check. You're not able to see. Okay, 1 minute. Let me press the button again. Can you see this? Okay, great. So here you can see the look and feel is coming because of this code, whatever we are writing, and now it's time to understand how this code is to be, how this code we are going to create, and etc. etc. Okay, so for making it straightforward, we are going to write a code in such a way that will help us to focus more on the functionality, how we can perform this kind of activity, and how we can generate this scenario. So here I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to just show you. So let me just proceed ahead, and so see, quick save. Okay, now pay attention. So these are all formalities done till this point. Then let's say if you want to give some kind of header, like kind of master header line and all, let's say topic equal to Salesforce Lightning Design System. There's such kind of things you want to give. You can see here it's coming like a master heading right at the top. Okay, you can give this, and you want to write this in the h1 or something like that. You want to write in a heading one format and all. Yes, you can also do that, and you can just add in h1. So that's also possible. Just click on quick save, come here and refresh, and that's going to be h1 or heading. You want to make some kind of modifications also, you can make it. Next is, now here you can give some kind of page headers also, but here if you see that for every entity, let's say you want to give some master header, the main thing which is changing is this class SLDS text heading label SLDS m bottom small. Where it's coming from, please note, this is all available in the Lightning design system. We just need to copy from them, and we just need to check whatever actually we are looking for. Just we need to take the entity from them. Okay, let me tell you what actually is that. So for example, let's say you want to show some kind of form. Okay, let's say you want to show some kind of form. Then you have various options like select SLDS form compound, SLDS form inline, or let's say you want to show some kind of buttons. Okay, so please note that is the reason this website is very handy. If you want to show button, okay, then this is a basic structure of button. But how you want to show? You want to show normal button, neutral button, like a brand button, or like a inverse button, like a destructive button, like a success button. This way, Salesforce actually is going to give you all the various selectors. You just need to mention what actually you need, and in the class, paste this, that's it. And this is what exactly we are doing here. If you see the code, just we are writing SLDS text heading something like this, or something like this, or something like this. Okay, so these are all the things which are already available here. We just need to copy and paste that code. So for example, let's say you want to give for input field. Okay, input field. So you can see this is the code for input field, and you can see the class and everything is given by SLDS. You just don't need to worry about this. You don't need to have any kind of memory for this syntax and this kind of statement. Just copy and paste. Okay, no one in the market memorize this all these concepts of SLDS. It's in fact bit more theoretical and more confusing to remember. Just come here, see what you need, copy and paste there. Okay, a senior architect also will do the same thing, or a junior level newly joined person in the company also will do the same thing. No headache for memorizing and spending time on this. Yeah, you put your efforts on logic, you put your efforts on query, you put some efforts on helper, client side JavaScript controller, server side JavaScript controller. Yes, do that. That is okay. But here we just don't need to worry about it. Just whatever you need, check it. You need SLDS input. Okay, just copy this and use SLDS input. You need like a normal bare SLDS, go for this. Like this, you can just modify everything here wherever you want to. Just make some kind of class. So here instead of SLDS input, you can use SLDS inputs bare, SLDS input height, SLDS input borders. If you are going to use border, modifies to allow a read-only input to have borders. If you are going to use this, then here use and apply to input size to another element that's non-input based, because sometimes I need elements in the height as inputs. Like this, you can just read whatever feature you need, just copy from this and present there. You are showing some kind of pick list. You are showing some kind of pick list, then copy this base code of pick list. Okay, and here then let's say you want to write some kind of pick list information, go for this. Okay, so everything is available here in SLDS. We just need to take what exactly we need to do. You sometimes want to show something like a tree, like this tree structure. See, tree structure, that's also possible. Just copy the base code and then you decide what exactly you need. You need SLDS tree, you need SLDS container, you need SLDS disabled, hover, etc, etc. So this is what exactly we need to use SLDS with. Remember, step number 1, take the base code. Step number 2, check the output, how it's working with the base code. And step number 3, then copy selector, whatever you need, and modify your code and done. This is how actually we work in the real-time project with SLDS. Nothing to remember, the document is ready for you. Okay, fine. So let me go to that code and explain you what actually is the next thing. So here we are just going to SLDS, whatever is suitable thing, whatever is suitable option for giving, let's say any kind of heading you want to give, just go to the SLDS website, copy and paste. You want to give some kind of heading with medium size, go there, copy paste. Okay, then we are giving this heading area, then this div is close, this div is close. Okay, then let me give some more space. So this div is close, and I'm going to just here write this. And by the way, this is the best practice to always give some kind of commenting at starting and closing, because this way it will be easy for you to understand in future what changes you have done and where it's starting, where it's closing. Now there is one more div with actually no flex, SLDS align middle, so it's kind of a middle flex we are giving so that it will be aligned like a middle, and that property we again took from SLDS document. Here we are giving some kind of div to show the groups wise format. And here we are giving a button, which is, you can see here at the right hand side, some buttons we are showing. Okay, these are various examples by which it's telling you very clearly how you can bring the information here, and giving the name to the button like new account, or let's, you can write here new customer. And then we are also giving one more name to the button, let's say this. Okay, so what will happen with this button, that you can know, that you know very well how to write. Just write in the button, and then after the button you can add any kind of value, let's say on click, or let's say you can just click, or you can just write any kind of other properties. These kind of things we already learned previously in Visual Force pages. Okay, just here we are focusing on writing the SLDS structure. After that, what will happen in the button click? What kind of control this Visual Force page will have? Where this control should go? Where the data should go? Everything actually is to be uh, done with additional part that we already know in Visual Force page. Okay, the classic programming. Then again, you are going to show one more button, and everything is clubbed together, and this group is closed. This group is closed, and this is for this one. This is closed. So let me just take it in one level. So this grid column close. Okay, then now here layout also close. See here, layout also close. We are closing the layout like we just started here. Okay, so this way for everything you should be having the closing and starting with proper nomenclature. Then you can show some kind of grid columns. So we are showing like SLDS button group, and we are showing new that everything in a grid column. Then we are showing the header, which is a closing header. So we are here closing this div to the header. Then we are showing some kind of primary content, and here this div is a wrapper for your main content. Again, you can write any kind of class. If you want to apply any kind of customize, you can fill into that class. And I'm just writing a UI and some elements into that. Okay, you can see here some all information like this. So you can say account, or you can say, let's say for example customer, and just show the value related to that, whatever information you want to show. So according to that, your customer will be able to see this list, whatever you want to show to your customer. Okay, so then you are just closing this primary content wrapper. You can also give some kind of footer, where I can just give some kind of layout. Again, for this you can mention some kind of div. Again, we are mentioning, let's say Salesforce lighting design, let's say some kind of copyright icon, some kind of footer we are closing here. Then again we are writing some kind of uh, closing div, so required SLS wrapper. So this is the main thing. This is the main thing, required SLS wrapper. This wrapper we are closing now at the end here. Okay, and the bodies also we are closing here. After that, if you want to write JavaScript code, if any, then you can also write from this any kind of JavaScript code, and you need to close the JavaScript code here. Okay, HTML closing, Apex Plus closing, that's it. This way, whatever business logic you want to write, you can write it in the Visual Force page, and your existing Visual Force page also you can just convert into this just by adding class and properties. That's it. Okay, it makes work very easy. Go for preview, and you can see it's coming like this. Okay, and you can see copyright, everything is coming here, right? So it's a very useful functionality available for performing some kind of activity, and this helps a lot to getting some kind of output whenever our customer is ready to like customer is asking us to represent something or show something into the Salesforce environment by using the SLDS. So everyone is clear till this point? Everyone is clear till this point? Reply in the chat box, please. Okay, now I'm going to tell you one important thing. Actually, I'm going to tell you one important thing, that while working in Salesforce, please note, there are so many scenarios. While working in Salesforce, there are so many scenarios by which you can cover this activity. Whatever functionality we are writing, you can very easily cover this functionality by using scenarios in Salesforce. Always remember, whenever your customer is actually interested to perform this kind of activity and he is actually saying that we need this kind of functionality and we need this kind of solutioning into the Salesforce, always remember that you need to give the proper always remember you need to give the proper code and proper functionality of your of your SLDS. Try to understand how to implement the process by using the necessary uh, uh, the code, and also if it is necessary for writing the things in Visual Force page, then write in Visual Force page only. And if you think it's possible to write a separate controller, or let's say you want to go for a separate lightning component, that's also possible. But always remember that perform this activity by understanding the scope of the business, and depending that only it will be easy for you to perform this uh, activities. This is one thing, okay. Second thing which we need to understand is that while implementing this process, here many times uh, Salesforce gives the facility for you by which the activities related to the imaging, wrapping, and all these things becomes comparatively easy. So what is the meaning of that and how actually we can achieve this? Let me tell you, everything in the SLDS should be added in a div tag. So you just need to add everything in the div tag and nothing else, okay. So that is the main thing here. In the div tag, like, just what we need to do is just we need to put some kind of wrapping, and this wrapping is possible by using the class. That's it. It means just create a div, then just create a div, and then after that you provide some kind of functionality to the class equal to xyz, and then go to the SLDS document and put the necessary tag here or attribute here and problem solved, okay. So this way you are going to work on all the stuffs, and this is very much necessary because this way you are going to perform this activity or functionality with ease, okay. So remember this, that is also something which you need to know compulsory. Apart from that, there is one more thing which is necessary as a Salesforce developer. You should be knowing that there are many cases now by which Salesforce is trying to make the Visual Force page to Salesforce Lightning functionality much more easy. And then in future, if your customer is asking for any kind of such facility and customer is expecting any kind of such code or functionality, then please note that try to go with some latest changes which are being done by Salesforce, because Salesforce nowadays going to bring lots of such facility for you by which you can just show this kind of code in lightning, mobile one, and all the stuffs and Visual Force page, same all uniformity you can present here, okay. So that is also something important, but the only thing is you need to understand that you should be having complete idea about this entire structure and format. So this is also one more important thing. So use SLDS in Visual Force page or use SLDS in any other functionality. Everything is going to work. Just only one thing is you should understand the new things regularly Salesforce is going to bring in our process. Okay, so now that's all with the agenda that we had, and please note. So